Bea teaches these 5 principles, and they're all verbs. Refuse, so you're probably used to seeing these 3 in the middle, right? Reduce, reuse, recycle. But there's a few more principles to think about. It's a hierarchy, if you notice, right? Most of the stuff you can eliminate by starting here, and take the items and prioritize in this order, so that at the end there's not that much to recycle and compost. All right, so step number 1, refuse. Now, anywhere you go, you get the stuff bag, the swag bag, right? Sometimes it's a handy little bag that you can take with you that's nice. Sometimes it's just a plastic bag. Sometimes it's stuffing stuff in your pockets, getting little stuff. So the first thing is to stop. Just refuse. Okay, think about, do I really need this? 4 things that you can do that will make your life completely different. Vow to not deal with these things ever. 1, junk mail. Bags, bottles, plastic bottles, straws, cups, utensils, lids, all of it. Freebies. And then unsustainable practices of packaging is the big one. Business cards, I mentioned that. Don't use personal checks if you don't have to. Some people still do. Mail, I mentioned it again. These are pretty cool ideas. Keep a pen in your mailbox. Just write refuse down and send back. I don't want it. All right, on to principle 2, reduce. These are items that you do need, right? But you can't refuse, and you can't refuse them, right? So 3 things to talk about here. Evaluate everything, question everything. Do I really, really need this? Can I downsize? So the author of that book, she went from like a 3,000 square foot house to moving downtown in like a 1,300 square foot house. Activities, like I know as a kid we used to just go and hang out at the mall. People still go and hang out at the mall, right? You're putting yourself in a position where you're like, impulse buy, impulse buy, impulse buy, and you walk away looking like that, right? So how do you do it? Simplify. Think about quality. Think about experiences. Reuse. This proverb's awesome. You've probably heard it. Use it up, wear it out, make it do or do without, right? So simplify. Reuse stuff, but don't take it to the extreme. So this is a picture of Bea Johnson's pantry. Isn't that clean? It's tidy, it's organized, beautiful. Just simple stuff like that. Share with your neighbors. And when you do buy smart. You can buy used. So this is a simplified checklist of reusable stuff. Totes, we talked about. Jars. You can buy olive oil, shampoo, so many things you can buy in bulk. Rags, obviously. Kitchen towels, handkerchiefs. I'm a believer. Recycle. Why is it so far down? Well, it's kind of unnecessary if you do these other things. If you're reusing your stuff, if you're reducing what you need to begin with, and then if you're refusing all that dumb giveaway stuff that people have, you don't really need to recycle that much. The other problem with recycling is it's all local. It depends on where you live. It depends on what we have locally in terms of infrastructure. Styrofoam, for example, is a perfectly recyclable commodity. If you look at the package, whatever it is, you'll see the chasing recycling arrows, that Mobius loop that's so common for recyclable items, and it has a number 6 in it and a PS underneath it. That's polystyrene. It's the same exact material as a Solo cup. That Solo cup is perfectly recyclable. Why isn't the styrofoam? We can recycle some types of styrofoam, but there's also like 6 or 8 or 10 different types of styrofoam. Glass, same thing. There's actually no one here in Knoxville that actually physically takes the glass and recycles it, that I know of at least. All of it has to go somewhere else. Nashville, Atlanta. That's a lot of shipping. Think about how heavy glass is. If you live in the city and you don't have one of those lovely 95-gallon like brown carts that they have, get one. They're free. Okay, composting. It just depends on what types of foods you're eating, how much space you have, how much time you want to invest in it. There's all sorts of different variables with composting. But that's a really good resource. The EPA has a website about how you can compost at home, from container composting to like outdoor, build your pallet enclosure composting. That's how to contact us. Questions?